Hello and welcome to JoyfulCast episode 2. Let's take a look at this map before we introduce the players. The main characteristic of this map is this middle contested victory point where players from each side are constantly battling for. It's a very popular strategy to set up teams to cover this victory point or to have an entire squad dedicated just for capping this point. And then there are two natural victory points that are sometimes contested, like the army can push through here and then bash some gens if the player really has an advantage. And then there are just economical points of requisition and power all over the map. The power nodes in the quite secure locations. And the players for today are Qichoka playing Commando Knob in the north side of the map. And on the southern side of the map, there's a Rainbow Dash playing Lictor Alpha. So those are two sneaky heroes, and we're gonna have a cool time together, alright? So let's hop right in. You can see that the Commando Knob is grabbing the middle point, and the Turned army is skirting around the edge. The rule of thumb is that if your army is weak or bleeding models early on, you want to avoid the engagement in the middle and skirt around the edges until you get the critical mass that allows you to engage. Like the Tyranids will likely go to the middle with double Termagants because then they can take on the Orcs. And the Commando Knob has a ridiculous range damage, so he is bravely taking that requisition point, not being scared of anything Tyranids can throw at him that early on. Now supported with the Shooter Boys is gonna skirmish with that Lictor Alpha. Oh, the flash hook coming up. The stun bomb misses. And they need to spread more. The Commando Knob meleeing that Lictor Alpha, getting knocked back by the special attack. Those shooters needs to get out of there. They already lost 2 models. But nice kiting overall, and the Lictor Alpha is forced off. Still, a pretty good move by Rainbow Dash. He forced 3 squads to be occupied instead of capping. They needed to fight. And as a result, he got himself a victory point in the middle. And those double Termagants are running away from that knob. Quite interesting. The Hormagants, being the nice capping squad there are, grabbing the edges as the armies contest in the middle area. It's a really good idea to have one squad dedicated to capping those points. If the Orcs are not careful, those Hormagants are gonna grab back those points, and it's really annoying to have to go back there and recap them after the Hormagants have done the damage. And those Hormagants aren't gonna do much in the fight anyway. They would just bleed models and die so quickly to those Shooter Boys, especially with the big shooters that are able to suppress the Hormagants before they even get close. Lictor Alpha sneaking up on that Commando Knob, stopping his cap. Really good Lictor Alpha play so far. This is exactly what you want to do with him. Just sneak up on the enemy, disrupt, harass, and let your other units cap the map. Hormagants forced back by the shooters and sluggers. And the double terms are getting stunned by the stun bomb, but the Commando Knob needs to get out of there regardless. Looks like this natural victory point is gonna get capped by the shooters, as the entire Orc army except the Commando Knob is pushing around this edge of the map. And all the Tyranids are engaging. Looks like the Termagants have their toxin sacks already. They can slow the sluggers before the sluggers get close. And the Orcs have the double big shooters, but they're not suppressing yet. They're not suppressing the Termagants. And they're not suppressing the Lictor Alpha, so the Tyranids are looking like they come ahead in this fight. Shooters and sluggers need to retreat, and those shooters will also need to retreat pretty soon. Perhaps they're trying to... Oh, it was the Lictor Alpha that retreated, not the sluggers, my bad. And now the Lictor Alpha is going to go down. Now the sluggers are happy to retreat after getting that kill. Nice job by Qichoka. And the Commando Knob is sneaking up on those Termagants, probably gonna deal some damage, take some models down. But will he be able to force them all out? Perhaps with the... Oh, he's got a sticky bombs. This is gonna be nasty. Oh, nice job. Rainbow Dash, really smart player, paying attention to all his squads, retreating in time. Those sticky bombs could have taken out the entire squad if he wasn't careful, but he was as careful as you can be. The Orc army regrouped in the base and is ready to roll. A third generator just now coming down, and both players have their farms set up. The victory point in the middle still in the Rainbow Dash's possession, so now he has a double cap over Don Qichoka, and this point is decapped, so Don Qichoka is bleeding victory points. Nice job by this Lictor Alpha sneaking up on those shooters. One of them should get a knob just for detection. Suppressing the Hormagaunts, and they can't get close anytime soon. So the Nids have to get out of there pretty soon. But as the entire Orc army is occupied with this skirmish, most of the map still belongs to Rainbow Dash. So he is buying time very effectively here. What's the Commando Knob doing? He was capping this, and as I said, it's pretty annoying to have those points decapped because you have to dedicate a squad that will not take part of the battle because he needs to cap them back. And if you get those decapped and then ignore them, then over the time of 10 minutes, if you don't have them capped, it's a ridiculous economy loss, so you need to recap them back, even if you don't want to. Rainbow Dash way ahead in the econ race, way ahead in the tier 2 race. Let's see what's gonna be his unit of choice. He does not have requisition for much yet. I wonder how did he get so far ahead. He only bought the toxin sacks. That's how he got so far ahead in the economy race. Now he's going to get the deadly jump on the Lictor Alpha, an amazing ability. If he jumps into both of those sluggers, both of those shooters, sorry, he's gonna knock them back, effectively disrupting all that DPS they deal. Now the entire Orc blob is gonna take that VP as the Tyranids are pushing into the Don Qichoka's natural. Let's see if the stick bombs are gonna do any damage this time. No, he's got no energy left. He's gonna get out of there. Sluggers capping the VP, and the Sluggers are getting jumped on, exactly as I predicted, because this is such a good strategy against the Orc or any shooting blob. This deadly jump is a must-have for any Lictor Alpha. And now the Nids are gonna make short work of those shooter boys. They should retreat already. No need to lose models. Flash hook, and the retreat is forced. Slugger boys getting poisoned and have to retreat. The crippling poison slows down enemy movement by 50% if I remember correctly, so it's really hard to get close to the well-controlled Termagon brutes. Does the Commando Knob has... No, he does not have enough energy for the stick bombs. When you want to sneak up on an enemy and stick bomb him, you always need to... Oh, but the custom shooter is blasting. The special shooter is blasting those Termagons, dealing massive damage. Looks like it costs less energy than the stick bombs. When you want to sneak up on the enemy and throw the stick bombs, you always need to keep in mind that the stick bombs cost 50 energy, so you need to time your sneaking up. The Lictor Alpha trying to take control of this victory point, but forced off by the Orcs. They still have no knobs in those squads. It would be really useful for him to get one knob. This will prevent any sneaking up by that Lictor Alpha. The Weird Boy coming into the field, a very good choice against Tyranids as they blob so thick. 8 models in each of those Termagon brutes, and one shot from the Weird Boy can hit them all. Also, Weird Boy is a really good unit for holding that victory point, as he has massive damage, massive range, and is very slow, so he does not need to walk far to kill anything that's capping here. A very good unit choice. I would expect the truck soon, as the Rainbow Dash is already grabbing tier 3. I wonder what is he rushing for. There was no unit bought in tier 2, just this deadly jump. So he's just buying time for his tier 3 composition. But what is it gonna be? He is pretty low on power, so I would not expect a Carnifex or a Swarm Lord anytime soon. Although he did grab 2 additional power generators in his second farm. This is one of the maps where where it is possible to get 2 farms pretty safely. Not in every map it is possible. The Commando Knob again needs to deal with this ninja cap. Oh, there's some booby traps in here left by the Commando Knob. See, this is the thing. Those Harmagons are pretty useless in battle, but they can just sneak into that corner and decap those 2 points every time the orcs aren't there. And then Don Qichoka has to dedicate his useful squad to recapping those points. So it's a great idea to use those Harmagons that way in the mid and late game. Now another sneak up by the Lictor Alpha. Not saying anything, but a knob would be very useful. A knob on Sluggas even. It's pretty standard for any matchup to get a knob on the Slugger boys, so I'm curious why he's not adding anything. Quite honestly, he has 600 rec and 160 power. What is he gonna do with all that resources? Perhaps he is waiting for a Rainbow Dash's unit of choice to counter it. It is pretty common to... Oh, it's a Lictor Alpha and a Lictor. There are 2 Lictors. So he's grabbing Lictors in tier 3. And Commando is the unit of choice for Don Qichoka. It's interesting. I wonder if we're gonna see more Lictors. It was pretty common back in the day where Lictors were in tier 2 available for the nits. It was pretty common to do mass Lictor strategies. I wonder if Rainbow Dash is bringing that back. A custom shooter smashing 5 models of those Termagants, and they need to get out of there. It's quite risky to hang out around that booby trap. Oh, the Lictor is a detection unit, so he might spot that booby trap in time. And another Lictor coming into the field for Rainbow Dash. Oh, he lost his Harmagons, I missed that. The Lictor's meleeing that booby trap. Don't know what's the point in that, as it blows up anyway. Shooter boys trying to sneak up on that victory point of the Rainbow Dash, but they need to get out of there. Termagon Brute in time to defend. The double sneaky Lictors. He's keeping them together, which is pretty interesting choice. I would rather prefer he used 1 Lictor to grab that victory point. Maybe he's gonna do that with a 3rd Lictor, counting with the Lictor Alpha. Let's see if those Lictors can do anything. Oh, a deadly jam. Not knocking down the Weird Boy, so let's see. This Weird Boy could deal a lot of friendly fire if he shoots now. And good choice of that Warp Puke or Warp Vomit. Then the Termagants can't handle... Oh! And the explosive, the Booby Trap explosive brings down the entire squad. Nice play by this Commando Knob of Don Qichoka. So the Harmagons and Termagants are down for Rainbow Dash. He's pretty